Oh,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 49 already of hang on. It's
almost
of
one
First
year.
Home. Yeah, I know I
Okay.
got mixed up with this one. Of our home buying tips of New Zealand first home buyers guide and insight. I'm Jubilee, and with me is Marianne. Tonight, we're supposed to have a special guest to talk about
Yes,
home buying
yes,
at an early age. But yeah, due to
right,
unforeseen
just
circumstances, last week's
yes.
episode got moved to today. But then, unfortunately, our guest still can't make it tonight. So instead, we thought we'd still just give a quick overview on some key points about home buying while you're young. Yeah.
Yes, I think at an early age, ate, to everyone that's listening to us right now, even though we don't have our guest tonight, I know that me and ate can kind of share a bit of like at least a little bit of a knowledge for those who are thinking of buying their first home at an early age, which is I think ate, it's actually quite beneficial for a lot of youngsters nowadays. Na they should be quite knowledgeable
Yep.
in terms
Right.
of in terms of let's just say investing, not even investing, it's almost like, well, actually not just buying your personal home, but it's more of being open minded to have an investment that will be very beneficial in the future, not just for them but the kids that they will have as well.
100%, and not just the youngsters, the parents, especially if the parents are not able to buy your first home anytime soon. Check your kids.
Yeah.
The future of your kids usually rely on the ideas that you give to them. So this
Yeah.
episode will give you a lot of idea on how you can, let's say, influence your kids to have that mindset. And why do we really have to buy a home? Hang on, because I know other people are not interested of buying their
Yeah,
home. What's your say on that, Marianne? Are you keen or
I
how do
think
you?
at the end of the day, ate, like, remember how when back when I'm well, back when I'm couple of months back when I'm still in real estate, I don't I'm that type of real estate agent that won't push people. I don't like pushing people, but I like inspiring people. So it's more of like waking up that kind of like, okay, that the fire inside their heart that, yeah, maybe I should buy a house. It's more of like, when someone says that to me, ate, going back to your question, when someone says that, oh, nah, I'd rather go rent, where
Mm,
you're actually if we can't afford it first, of course the first reason will be like, we can't afford it, we only earn this much, you know but at the end of the day, you know what, ate, in New Zealand we're quite pretty blessed in terms of government support here
true.
in New Zealand, right, ate? Because
Yeah.
just to think of it, just I just came to think of it, when I was in real estate, I found a lot of benefits, and also kind of the help of the government, which is like, before the Kiwi Saver, of course. Um One is that the Kiwi Saver, and also the different schemes that Kainga Ora had, and those kind of benefits na wala tayo back in the Philippines. Pretty much
Nope.
in the Philippines, parang kung swerte ka kung merong napamana sa'yo yung kanununununuan mo, 'di ba?
100%. Because let's talk about dissemination of information. The websites
Hmm,
are available, informations are available online, and the government is pretty much straightforward as to what are the steps actually. So
yeah.
before we even started this podcast, there are already basic information as to how you're going to purchase your first home.
Yeah.
What is that? It's like I forgot the website though, but there is a website for those who are interested of buying their homes, first home.
Yes. So there's settled.govt.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yes, at there, right? So settled, that's what I love about here as well in New Zealand. Pretty much all information are out there. Nasa sa inyo na lang if you are very, very interested of actually really learning. Because all the information here is actually quite free. Talking to a real estate agent, it's free.
Mm.
Getting information from these professionals are actually free. Even going to a mortgage broker, a financial advisor, those kind of few bits and pieces of information. Like I know, with you, Ate, you've had that kind of experience as well. That you did your own research before you bought your house, diba?
So long as you are diligent in reading and asking, of
Yeah.
course, like you said, you can ask people. The initial appointment would be free, but then if you want to carry on
Yes.
with them, they're not going to charge you, but they'll get a commission once you transact business with
With
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yes.
at the end of the first your home buying journey. But let's talk about, because I know we have this topic like start young and in buying your home, but this may not be, what are the eligibility or the requirements, because just recently I'm really pushing my son, and now that I've learned about my daughter can also avail a house at a young age. So
Yes.
let's start talking more about how to start young when you want to buy your first home. Okay, let's have the first one. Maybe I'll just the first one is what you've mentioned already, the Kainga Ora, first home loan
Yes.
option. The good thing here is it's 5% now. I haven't heard of this before. I think this is the
Mm-mm. There are, remember how I think back when we were on our first few episodes, Ate, we talked about this with Sanjeev.
mm,
And it
yeah.
was during that time, so that's almost a year now. During that time, I think Kainga Ora has quite a few choices of support. So there's the first home loan, which is the 5%. There's also the one that you can buy with Kainga Ora. So I am just not sure. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Maybe we'll need to have Sanjeev again or another friend of ours in the mortgage industry to confirm with us if that's still available. I know that the $10,000 or you up to $10,000 support of the government is done. They've removed
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so
Mm.
which is it's quite sad, and a lot of our I know a lot of our kababayans missed out on that. And that's the thing. That's the reason why I always tell them that you'd rather want to try it, and if the mortgage broker says nah you can't, then at least you tried.
True. So just recently, we've actually looked at Wirihana. Have I mentioned this last time? I don't think so. Because Wirihana has this scheme where they offer you 1.95% of interest for the first year, interest rate
Mm,
for the home loan for the first year. In other words, so the plain explanation to me last time was that if the bank approves our loan at, say, for example, 6%,
mm,
we will just pay 1.95% and the rest will be paid by Wirihana. Oh, I've already mentioned Wirihana anyway, but I've spoken to their agent. So we
yes,
really want to go ahead with that because look, first year I will only be paying 1.95%. Oh, actually, not literally me. I'm pushing my son. He's 23 years old. And this is what I'm talking about, starting young. And me as a
yes,
parent, push them to start young. I know we've been pushing them to start savings, put a little bit bigger amount of money in the Kiwi Saver because of course he is now able to use it if we want to go ahead because it has now matured, has been saving for around 3 or more than 3 years
a year, yes, yes,
already. And here's one thing that I've learned from Josie, the mortgage broker, Filipina mortgage broker. We were going to invite her again next time to talk more about that. Because as for now, I would just like to share what I have learned from her based on our experience. And she said,
yes.
my son can buy with my daughter together. But
Mhm.
my daughter started saving when she was 15. I mean, Kiwi Saver, 15, 16, 16, 17. So it's just been 2 years, unfortunately. Plus, but we would like to go ahead with that. But then she doesn't qualify because she's only 17. So another requirement is at least you must be 18 to
To
avail.
purchase.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that's one of the requirements when you're buying a property here in New Zealand. So at least 18 years old. Um, of course, that you are able to read and write, at least you're not being duped of signing up a sales and purchase agreement, so those are the one of the, like, some of the basic requirements when you're purchasing a house. But I think getting the Kiwi Saver, like what you've said, Ate, you can totally, of course, use that Kiwi Saver. I know though that you can open a Kiwi Saver at an early age, of course, but they cannot use it, 'di ba, ate? Like, but they cannot use it up until they're past that 18 years old. But like what our topic is in here, you can open your Kiwi Saver for your kids if you've been
Mhm.
contributing to that more than, like, once
Yeah.
they are already big, then of course they can use it when they're ready, when they're earning,
Mhm.
and then they've had enough savings. So I think that's quite a good idea as well.
I've just remembered when you said starting opening their Kiwi Saver at an
Kiwi
early age,
Saver.
because there is no requirement as to the age of the child, so
Kiwi.
long as you are resident here in New Zealand.
Yes.
And I think, as far as I can remember, I opened an account for my daughter when when we moved here 2020, so 4 years ago. She must have been 14. No, maybe 13 years old. But then I
Mhm.
wasn't contributing so much. I just opened it because she wasn't working at that time until she turned 15. So she started working at the age of 15. And now she's just 17. So that's just 2 years of consistently
2 years.
saving
Yeah,
on the Kiwi Saver.
contributing. I think, like,
Yeah.
little by little, if you're kind of contributing, I think that's what I'm planning with the two kids. I know that they're still young, 4 years old and 7 years old, but I'm planning of contributing because ang ginawa ko, ate, is that with my Kiwi Saver, I put the highest percentage of the
On your one.
personal contribution for me. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
remember how they increased it to 10%? Before the highest was 8%. So I did like the max. So that it
Mm.
was quite quick. The growth was quite fast. What I didn't know though, ate, was that when I first moved here in New Zealand, my company where I used to work where I used to work before, they actually opened and contributed for my Kiwi Saver as well. So, and then I didn't know that I can actually keep that because I'm already planning anyway of saving of staying here. So ang ginawa ko is that I told them to cancel it. So I'm like, oh, I should have just
You
continued
shouldn't have.
it.
Anyway, how long have you been contributing to your Kiwi Saver for?
I only started at it because I thought that I'm supposed to start it when you're a resident, but it was open before that. So
Oh,
I
other
was,
employers didn't know that you shouldn't have
yeah,
Kiwi Saver, and so they were doing
yeah.
it.
But what happened was, what I got to know with my previous employee, ate, is that they were doing that and they were not resident, so they were contributing with their Kiwi Saver as well. And then what happened was, because they weren't able to, like, get a residency, whatever they contributed in there, they were deducted, and a little bit, which is, it depends siguro sa employer, what a little bit of what the employer has put in there as well was able to withdraw by my previous employee. But the
Oh,
only thing that you cannot withdraw, yes, ate, the only
as you
thing you cannot withdraw was what the government has given back.
okay. So they
Hmm.
withdrawn their contributions to your Kiwi Saver. It's like, oh, what a shame. You could have had
Yeah.
some big money already.
Yeah, I did.
Have you opened Kiwi Savers for account for your kids already? Not yet.
Not yet, but I'm planning now that it's a school holiday. Then at least I'll get a little bit of time going out, opening up their account first. Like depositing their cash in there,
Oh,
and then
if
yeah,
you
opening up a KiwiSaver.
if you deposit an amount which qualifies them to
The per
get
year.
government contributions,
Yes.
so that means to say, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
And then when they reach 18, depending on how much money you're going to put in every month, say for example, if you have bonuses, then you can put in there. And then your kids would probably be able to buy their first home by the age of 18, right?
I know. Yes, ate. And it's
You
actually
have
really,
sacrificed.
really cool. which is I feel like that's one of the blessings that we have now that we're in New Zealand, because they have this kind of they have these schemes that can kind of
Mm,
help you boost your start, and
mm.
that actually brings us to one of also another another way for kids to be able to purchase their first home is the bank of mom and dad. 'Di ba, ate? Yun yung kilala. Ano
Yeah.
bang
So,
pagkakaalam mo, ate, sa bank of mom and dad?
um, well, I thought in the beginning when I didn't have any idea about that is that your mom and dad will just be saving money, save your money, and then mom and dad will gift. That's what they call it here. Gift the money
Mm,
to you as their. I don't know. I haven't experienced it, but I've heard that there would be like a document testifying that mom and dad will not be your parents will not be asking for anything in return, and that's
mm.
completely a gift. That's what I've heard. So
Yes.
I'm not sure. Is that right or not?
It actually depends on the kind of like the idea or the purpose of the parents that wants to help their kids. So bank of mom and dad in here in New Zealand, I think some of the parents might kind of like, okay, well, you will still have to give it back to us, something like that. But there's also another way of saying it's a bank of mom and dad. It's more of like also you're using their equity as well for their home. So if your
Mm.
parents have their own home too, and they're kind of like already comfortable of their life, or they're mortgage free, and there's a little bit of an equity in that house, you can kind of help, and of course, with making sure that the mom and dad are still service there's still a serviceability. So meaning you can't really borrow a little bit of an equity of the house that the mom and dad has if they're already not working.
Oh, okay. I
Mm.
don't have much to say about the equity because at the moment we don't have equity in the house, and so we were told, "Nah, you
Yes.
can't use that one." So I was just
Yes.
thinking of the savings that we have that we're willing to give to our kids. Say, for example, if they're planning to buy their first home. Oh yeah, but I've heard of that equity though. Yep.
You can kind of help out with the use of an equity of your current home. So some I know a friend who did that, and that was a sister-in-law. It was actually her
Wow.
sister-in-law who helped her purchase their first home using the equity of the sister-in-law's house. So at the end of the day, that is legal advice. So we always recommend, for you to seek legal advice if you want to do that, and if you have a friend or a family member who's willing to do that, then that's very very cool. It's actually very helpful as well. A lot of I think I've had some clients before who did that as well, and they were able to borrow money from the bank because now that the deposit is kind of the equity that they're trying to borrow from a family member is kind of helping with the deposit, so they were able to be approved. So they were approved for a mortgage, and they were able to buy another house.
Cool. But of course, we do not only limit to the bank of mom and dad, other family
Yes.
members or even friends. I think it's okay to
Yes.
contribute money just to help out a friend or a family member who would like to start now. If they have a
Yes.
little bit of saver, a little bit of savings, and just a little bit of top up, and then they can start their first home. It depends. But like what I have said, I think the bank would just want to make sure that it's not going to be an added loan for
Yeah.
the buyer, so they will be requiring a document signing it as a legal document that the
Yeah.
amount is given.
Yeah, and I think if our viewers are able to go back into some of our previous episodes as well, we kind of talked about quite a few requirements, of course. Very first steps for you to kind of tick those boxes if you're eligible of buying your first home, making sure that you are able to actually understand New Zealand law. I always believe, ate, that kasi madami tayong kababayan who are very very afraid in doing transaction, and then what they do is they just say yes to everything, and then they
Uh,
sign the sales purchase agreement, and then not knowing really what they're getting into. I know that New Zealand is a very strict country that no one can actually like easily fool you, but it actually really pays to have your own knowledge and do your own due diligence. So if you're very knowledgeable at it, like at the end of the day, and that's one of the reason why I think the benefit of me studying real estate is not just for me becoming an agent, but at least I have knowledge that I can impart my kids. Now, oh, this is what we're gonna do. If you're buying a
Yes.
house, this is what we're supposed to do. And I think it's actually like, even if you don't have, for me, ate ha, even if you have extra money to pay for a real estate agent course, I think it's actually really worth it. Even if you
Oh.
don't want to be an agent,
Mm.
I've had, I think Mom Maricel's attorney Maricel's
Mhm.
husband, attorney
Yeah.
Holger, he's a graduate of
Study.
real estate.
How much
Yes.
is it? Like, I'm interested in
I
studying again.
during my time I was, so that was like 2021 when I became an agent. I graduated, so that was 3,000
Okay. I'm not
three
sure if there's
thousand.
a scheme of the government that they can offer it free, because I
I
availed
think, I'm
one
not
course
sure. I
free,
think
not two courses free.
Unitech. I think there are some university that kind of offers a little bit of I'm not sure if it's a scholarship or something, or kind of the, but Unitech I know, but during that time I wasn't able I wasn't eligible to get the free course.
Oh, okay. So you paid for it. But anyway, it's worth it because now you are more knowledgeable on how to buy your first home.
Mm.
And that knowledge can be passed on to your kids or to your family members or to your friends. And what you're
And
doing
also
now
our
is actually
friends.
sharing it. Yes. Awesome. So we only have this short catch up on home buying tips, and particularly the main topic is starting young. So
Yes.
if you're young right now and you don't have money yet, well then start saving, start putting money into your Kiwi Saver, and wait until it matures. Maybe in 3 years time you'll be able to use it. And of course there's eligibility when you apply for Kainga Ora. And of course, the mom and dad's bank, you can use that one too, or your any other family members that you think you can buy with. Because last time we have that topic, buying together, the kids and the parents. Yes, cool.
And that's
Right.
your plan, Ate, right? You're buying together with your son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't mentioned that too. Initially, we are having a chat with the mortgage broker, Josie. So if you don't know Josie yet, a Filipina mortgage broker, feel free to browse on our playlist on YouTube to find out her details. But we are planning to invite her again one more time soon, hopefully, if she's available, to talk more about the ones that I have mentioned to you today, because we're thinking of buying. It's quite complicated when she said that we can buy as a couple with our son as the first home buyer, but I don't know, but they know more than I do.
I know, and I think and that's the reason why, remember how Sanjeev or Josie, when they are even our bank ANZ mortgage manager, remember
Paula.
Paula, yes, all of these people who are professionals at their in their field, they always say, because even though we have this podcast, someone will ask us a question which is very beneficial as well, that we will receive some of your questions, but we suggest for you to reach out with to these people, because every one of us have different specific circumstances, that it may be either beneficial, or maybe you've got more advantage, and the other
Mm,
one's like, wait a minute, it's not yet ready, it's not, you're not ready yet. So yeah, so reach out to these people. Maybe we can put I think you just go back to some of the episodes that we have.
true. Sweet. Well, we're pretty much fast today because we don't have our guest, but looking forward to having her. Brittany,
Yes,
right?
Brittany. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, just a bit of a background. I was really looking forward to have her as our guest at, and I know you are too, because
Mm.
a lot of some of our viewers who've got the same age as her. She's only 20 years old, but they purchased their home
Wow.
around 18, 19 years old. So, and that's with her partner as well. So I actually really adore this kind of young ones. I'm like 37 years old right now, and then I'm like just just
I
learning
know.
about it. 'Di ba, ate? And then seeing these young minds, I'm like, man, I'm mind blown. And yeah, and I really hope that the younger ones who are watching our episodes right now would be that motivated as well, right, ate? Some people, I know that pleasure is good,
Ah,
but at the end of the day, you can have pleasure at the same time you can have
mm,
your own investment.
so true.
Just being smart with the money, with your finances and everything, is very cool.
So if you want to know more about home buying tips, especially the saving tips that Marianne has mentioned, we've got that as one of the sessions episodes actually in our playlist. So just browse through our playlist so it'll be able to have a look through it. You can play it again and again, get some insights, and not just gain knowledge, but try doing them yourself. Action is better than words. Is that right? Yes.
Maybe, I think so. Yes, ate.
Anyway, thanks so much, everyone, for joining us one more time and learning from us. And by the way, I have another podcast. It's just so sudden. It's supposed to be on Friday, and I haven't even posted it with a teacher, Miss Ellen. Again, she's my favorite because she's really full of wisdom with all her experiences. She'll be
Yeah.
sharing with us her experience as a teacher in high school and in primary, what's the difference between the two and which path would be right for you. So this is going to be an interesting topic because I'm she has been encouraging me to move back to secondary because I'm in primary at the moment. So watch us tomorrow. What time? 7. 7 actually. Any words, few words from you?
Ate, because we have this platform anyway, I would actually want to also if you may, I would also want to kind of plug. I know that I'm not in the real estate industry now, but we may have some kababayans who have their own businesses. Those who are watching right now, they have their own businesses, and you might want to know what I do. Currently, I'm actually a brand development manager for Freightways. Um, Freightways Ate is the owner of New Zealand Couriers, Post Haste, Sub
Is it
60. Yeah.
New
So
Zealand Post? Ah,
New Zealand
okay.
Post is government. But
Okay.
I yes, ate, and then but us, we're Freightways is privately owned. So
Private.
NZ Post is government owned, but we pretty much have all these brands. So Sub 60, if you see TIMG, that's
I've
also
seen
ours.
Post
The
Haste.
one Post Haste, yes, that's ours. And also New Zealand Courier, the red van.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes.
Red
So
and
yeah.
yellow.
Yes.
What
So that's
about
ours.
the HDL? Is it? Oh, DHL.
Oh, DHL. No, so that's international ate. So I think that's American. I'm not
Ah,
sure.
so
But
you're
ours is a New Zealand, yeah, New Zealand
just in
courier.
New
Yeah, so New Zealand couriers, and we also, the big truck of Big Chill that you see, Big Chill, na may parang polar bear.
Oh, rings the
That's
bell.
ours too. Yeah, that's a really big. They are the biggest transport delivery transport for chilled products, yung mga frozen. So
Ah,
those are ours as well. But the reason why I'm trying to plug it is that maybe we have kababayans who have businesses who may need who may need help with delivering it. And I may be able to help you understand what actually Freightways brands can offer and help you with, a little bit more competitive rates and stuff like that. So
mm.
let me know if you've got businesses, guys. I may be able to help you with delivering your products, or if you're selling something, then I can help you out with
That's so
that one.
cool. So at least, because I know there are many Filipinos who have businesses here already. And does that refer to big businesses or even just a small business?
No,
Like,
I have a lot of clients. So I just started with Freightways during like last April. And I've had made, I think, over 30 clients now that I've opened. It's a mixture of small businesses who kind of sends out their items once or twice a month, but it's very it's very beneficial for some small businesses as well and bigger businesses because we can help move their products quite quicker. I don't deliver,
Mm.
but I am your I am your account manager. So pretty much I'm the one who's gonna look after you. If you have this kind of business, let me know. I'll be actually hand in hand help you out when it comes to your logistics.
Nice. Thanks so much for sharing that. That's great.
Baka
And
may
just
business ka ate ha.
yeah, but my business is mostly online, but we'll see if it grows. Why not?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much, everyone, for staying tuned and always learning and always growing. So I'll see you again next week for the New Zealand First Home Buyers Guide and Insight or home buying tips to make it short. And of course,
Yeah.
tomorrow, don't forget for those teachers.
Thanks,
Kakite!
guys. Have a good evening. Thanks, Ate Juvie.